Hello, my dear friends. Maricela Messner here. Just honored to just have this time to share with you today. And today, what I want to do is just talk a little bit about my coaching journey and how all that came to be. I have such a unique gift in the sense that I truly, 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 deep in my heart, want to serve people, want to love people. I have just this deep desire to help people become the best version of themselves. And it's unique in the sense that I don't expect anything in return. I just want people to have amazing lives. And I think that is, to me, the biggest reward is when I can help people just deep, within themselves to find those gifts that God has given them and for them to just be able to achieve great things and just have a good life. How I got started coaching is I owned a restaurant. I left corporate America after 15 years, and I want to say that those 15 years were very rewarding. It was a lot of work because I was working my way up the ladder. I was working full time, going to school full time, and I achieved some really neat things from an education perspective. I got all the degrees. I went all the way other than getting a PhD. And I now have a PhD in mom because I am a mom of seven. Well, I'm a family of seven, but I have five beautiful children. And so that's ultimately where my PhD ended up with my children and my family. But I did get a master's degree in strategic leadership and I have a bachelor's in organizational leadership. And that just happened because just loved what I was doing from a leadership perspective and learning about organizations and the importance of adding value in the workplace and just finding people who really wanted to do a great job. And that was my experience. No matter what environment that I would go into, I would just find ways to motivate people, ways that people could really enjoy the work that they were doing. It didn't matter what we were doing. And we just all pulled together and found ways creatively to just make the day go by in such a manner that it was like, oh, wow, it's time to go home, right? But we really enjoyed serving our customers. If it was selling, if it was creating products, whatever the different work that I did, we just always had a great time. And people from my past still are connected with me through Facebook and such. And they always just remember how much fun it was when we worked together. And that just has to do with my love for life and just who I've become in terms of appreciating everything that I have. And so, as I share with you specifically why I fell into coaching, is I had my own restaurant and you know I, I want to say that restaurant work isn't glamorous by any means. I had a barbecue Texas style restaurant, so I had this huge smoker that I spent a lot of time with. Early in the morning, we'd set it up and we'd smoke a lot of meats because I love the kitchen. It's one of my biggest hobbies is just being able to serve people and enjoy really great food. And so that became one of those neat things to do, even though I didn't realize how much work it was going to be. But I enjoyed it, right? It was just fun. And so I had that, but even as I was doing that, I still there was this little piece of me that wanted a little bit more. And so just through just discovering and working with a coach, I discovered what's called the John Maxwell team. And within that team is just such an amazing body of work from a leadership perspective. And so it fulfilled this need for me to still reach out to corporate environments and learn from other people who lived in these environments, but then also as an entrepreneur. And that's really how I got started in coaching. And initially it was more like, okay, let me just get this John Maxwell certification so I can actually train my employees and I can make them um, see the value of the work that they're doing and show up as great leaders in the workplace. And then the more I spent time with it, the more I realized, oh, it's not just for me. I can help other business leaders with these same skills and help them increase their influence, grow their businesses, have work life balance. There's so many different things that I learned just diving into the coaching and then starting a little bit of consulting while I had the restaurant, helping other business owners as they were facing different challenges. And then ultimately, when I closed the restaurant, um, it was just important for me to, okay, what am I going to do? Right. And so then I naturally just transitioned over to coaching women business owners online. And oh, I, I can't tell you just how rewarding that was. Rewarding in the sense of just being able to connect with beautiful people all across the globe, um, customers, clients that I had in the UK, Spain, just different parts of the world, and just like not having any barriers to where they were compared to where I was, and still being able to be connected and just impact their lives in such an amazing way. And for me, it was just bringing out the best in them. A lot of times, as an entrepreneur, one of the biggest challenges that you face is you're just your self confidence, right? Even though you know you're good, a part of you still has that inferiority complex where you're like, oh, what if? So you struggle somewhat. But what I found, it was important to just like foundationally to help people understand how valuable they were and the different contributions that they made and that had brought them to the success that they have up to this point. And that's where what I would say my coaching career took off is when I just started connecting with powerful, powerful people and just allowing them to showcase their own gifts. And then the beauty of coaching is when you do the coaching, you bring out the best in people, and then they're able to go and they're empowered to go and live their lives, right? And I don't know how familiar you are with the coaching world, but if a really great coach is going to challenge you and all the answers are going to come within you, it's not going to be something I'm going to tell you. I did that more when I was doing consulting with businesses and such. You lay out a plan for them and then they actually go out and execute it. But from a coaching perspective, my job is to bring out the best in you and ask you to tap into it. And sometimes it's hard. Sometimes we don't want to know what those tough questions are, those answers that we may not want to face. But as a coach, you create that space for people to feel safe and ultimately to just create that best version of themselves and create some amazing things. And I don't know, I just really want to spend time on sharing a little bit of my core values. It's important as an individual to have core values because as you have these core values, what you find is it becomes a filter for everything that you do in your life, right? And so for me, number one is going to be faith. And I can't tell you that I've always been here. I grew up in the church when I was young, but I definitely, strayed away. I did all the things that you're not supposed to do, drinking, uh, relationships, all the sin that they have per se. But what's interesting as I came back to really become a well balanced individual, I recognize that faith was a very, very important part of my life. So in all my language, everything you'll hear me say, faith is a big part of it. I believe in the word of God and I believe in scripture and for me, it's fundamental to everything I do. And so just know that that is part of who I am. And I honor you wherever you are in your spiritual journey. And just know that it's important that you have one, right? Even in whatever religion or walk of life you may be, just have a foundational cornerstone to something because when you have that, then there's this compass, moral compass in terms of what you should do or can't do or whatever that looks like, right? And so for me, I believe in the Ten Commandments. I honor my children. I pray for forgiveness. I have compassion. I have love. I demonstrate grace on so many different things because that has been bestowed on me. Love and grace that God has given me and that I feel each and every day. So I thank you for sharing that, allowing me to share that with you. Number two is going to be family. Oh my goodness. My husband and I were married 19 years before we were honored to bring my son into the world. And we went through some infertility treatments to achieve that. But it was through a lot of prayer, a lot of persistence, a lot of just love for knowing that there was something more for me. I was close to the age of 40 when I realized, okay, I have this desire for children and it's not going away. So for me, back to my faith, I prayed and I said, you know what, Lord, if it is meant for me to have children, can you please honor me with giving me that? And then he gave me the wisdom for my husband and I to seek out an amazing clinic that really stepped up and helped us in different ways, even sometimes you may not think about it, but he required for us to go through counseling first to make sure that we wanted to go through the fertility journey. And I think that was really important, along with the support of our family, because it's not just something that you take very lightly, right? So just having the support of his parents, my family, as we embrace the healing journey through infertility. And then ultimately, we achieved a pregnancy, and in 2013, our son was born, and he just turned 10 recently and just has blessed our lives in so many different ways. Um, in terms of family, we grew our family recently, and about 3.5 years ago, right during the pandemic, we decided to open up our family for adoption. And through that, we were able to bring in three beautiful children. It it was a sibling group that just needed a place, and they had been in the foster care system for almost 2 years. And at that point, we knew that they were a right fit for our family. We fell in love with them. We knew that they were going to be for us. And when we said yes, and we ultimately just made the decision, not too long after that, we got a call that this beautiful sibling group of three had another baby that was born. I got the call on the day she was born. And they said, "Hey, if you want these children, uh, she now is part of that family, and if you want them, you have to say yes to four." And as God would have it, she was able to come home first, and I was able to have her for a full month before the others came home, and it was just such a beautiful moment for me just to sit. At 2 weeks old, I get this baby, and I have to remember what it was like to have a newborn and just do all those things, not able to sleep through the night, all those things that you were like, ah. But thankfully, God has been faithful for me, and He has guided me through that. She is now 3.5 years old, and she is every part of me. She has the little spunk, the attitude. She's like, "No, mom." So she is a spit image of who I am in terms of how she shows up in the world, and she humbles me. As you can tell, she brings me a lot of joy. All my kids bring me joy, but it's just interesting how my oldest was such a gift because he came to us out of an infertility journey, and then this baby was a surprise. And so, and then sandwiched in between is my beautiful Bentley, my beautiful Tessa and Maddie, and they're just precious. And if you just go into my Facebook feed, you'll see all these beautiful stories of just how much joy they bring to my life. Um, just so important. And then just finally, just my values, and I share those with you because it's important that we have those things that are important to us. And like I said, to me, it's a filter. Everything I do really comes back to, okay, does it align with my faith? Does it align with what my family needs and where I need to be at this point in time? And so those values are very, very important. Though I think one of the most important values that I have is the service aspect. And I started with that at the beginning, and I shared that um, just sharing in the knowledge and all the lessons that I've had in my life. And I have made so many mistakes along the way, but there's always been so much love and so much grace given to me. My husband and I will celebrate 20, oh my goodness, 29 years. It's crazy. Time just really flies. And just out of that relationship has come so much love and so much compassion for each other, understanding. And I just want to encourage you, no matter where you are in your life, know that there's always something better. And I don't pretend to have all the answers, but I know that when things get tough, when things get difficult, I can really pull on my background, all the life experiences that I've had, and even from a coaching perspective, right? And just being able to encourage my clients and helping them to know that it's gonna get better and things are gonna improve because they've always have for me, even through a recent health journey that I've been on. And I don't let that define me. Whatever that diagnosis is, it's just a small part of who I am. What's bigger is my strong faith in who God created me to be and how I show up in the world. And most importantly, the contributions that I can make, how I add value to the world, and just making sure that any contact I have with anyone, they walk away better than they came to me, and that I've in some way encouraged them, somehow lifted them up, and given them just so much value in our interaction, and that they're a better person because I was able to encourage them, because I was able to showcase for them the best version of themselves. And that is what my goal is today, is sharing this beautiful coaching journey that I'm currently on, and just empowering women and helping people become the best version of themselves. And I look forward to building a relationship with you. If I can serve you, if I can connect with you in any way, please let me know. I'm here through the social networks and just different ways that I can add value. And then I'll be here until the Lord calls me home. I'm just honored to be your coach, and hopefully we have the opportunity to meet and I can continue to share in my journey of life and just all the great things that I see. Gratitude is such an important part for me. Every single day, I'm looking for all the good things in my life, right? I pray with my children, and we just thank the Lord for this beautiful, beautiful day and the ability that we have to be with each other, the fact that we all get to be healthy, that we just have a beautiful family and we get to do life together and experience such great things. No matter what's out there, we just encourage each other and just are excited to do life together. And just, more than anything, I want to just thank you for listening to this video and just welcoming you into my world. All right, be well.